Well, hey, pre-K parents, this is Jeff, and I am here with a Continue the Journey activity for you this week that's going to help your child on their journey to find Jesus and follow him. And this one is called Road Trip. You're not going to need a whole lot for this. There's two ways that you could do it. One is all you need is imagination. Two, you need a car. Okay, so you can either do an imaginary trip or you can do an actual little road trip with your kids. I think it's a great time to actually, I think all of us are trying to find safe excuses to get our kids out of the house and maybe out of our hair a little bit. And so taking just a little trip around town with them, just driving around might be a really good way to do that. Or just use your imagination and do this at home. Okay, in this week's True Bible Story, we saw how God helped King Solomon make good choices. This is 1 Kings chapter 13 is when King Solomon takes over as king. Before that, he was just regular old Solomon, I guess. And God comes to him and says, what can I give you, Solomon? And he doesn't ask for riches or long life or the death of his enemies. He asks for wisdom so he can make good choices and lead the Israelites well. And for those of us who know the story, we know that God gave Solomon wisdom. In fact, he said that no one before Solomon or after Solomon was going to be as wise as Solomon. Plus, he gave him all the other stuff too. If you don't know the story, wow, that's a really cool one to read. 1 Kings chapter 13. So here's what you're going to do as you lead this activity. First of all, grab a Bible and read that first chunk of 1 Kings chapter 13 with your kiddos at home. It's in my preschool Bible, which I don't have right in front of me. It's over there, but it's in my preschool Bible. It's in most preschool Bibles. Solomon asking for wisdom is a really big story. If not, grab a Bible app or look at YouTube and find a video there and tell this story to them. Remind them that God helped Solomon to make good choices, and he's going to help us make good choices too. Then you're going to go on either a pretend road trip or a real road trip and some stops around town, and you're going to brainstorm with your child good choices they can make at those locations. So maybe you either pretend or real. Well, just start in the car. What are good choices you can make in the car? Things like buckling up, things like not throwing things at the driver, which is something my kids, for some reason, always liked doing. Their shoes, especially. I'll be driving and all of a sudden a shoe will come whizzing past me. So help your kids. Maybe your kid doesn't struggle with that particular one like mine have done and still do, oddly enough. But what are some of the good choices that they can make in the car? And then just drive around town. Maybe the grocery store. What are good choices they can make at the grocery store? Maybe they have a preschool that they go to. What are good choices they can make at their preschool? Maybe you drive past the soccerplex. What are good choices they can make at a soccer game? Maybe you drive past Journey's Crossing here. What are good choices you can make when you're at church with your friends? All kinds of places where they can make good choices. Like I said, you can put them in the car and do that, or you can just have a little pretend road trip at home. Even more fun is to make maybe some cardboard boxes so they've got a pretend car to be in as well. You use your imagination. You go all out for it, or you make it really, really simple. Any way you do it, it's going to be impactful for your child and their journey towards Jesus. Help them think of those good choices, and then you might ask them every now and then, hey, what if you're tempted to not put your seatbelt on in the car? And you can remind them that they can always pray, and our big idea today, God helps me make good choices. So if you pray, God will help you make those good choices. Really a fun activity, and especially if you're looking for an excuse to get your kids out of the house, this is a good one right here to help them think through those good choices and remind them that God will help them make those choices along the way. I hope you have a lot of fun with Road Trip. Bye-bye, everybody.